All right, we have gone live a little bit early just because I got Never Fear 1911 and Vorpal in there. Vorpal bite. So, before we get going, you can see over here, I've actually got a summary sheet. This is from Mythic. Really helps you keep your scenes together. As you can see, the first scene was getting ejected from home. Then we've got the city that we ended up entering, the heavy focus on the diplomatic city, which we don't have a name for, by the way. And then entering the bleak moon, meeting Finn the Pedler, and getting the job from Adelaide that will end up making the fourth scene. But before we go any further, let's talk a little bit because folks are coming in. So this is based on Maze Rats, and currently, if you go to Kickstarter, you can find there's a Kickstarter that's blowing up for Knave, and it will give you a hardback book with a whole lot more tables as well. And you can add on not extras. You can do add-ons, and you can get a professionally printed Maze Rats along with some other little helpers that will be good with Knave or whatever system you run. But again, go check that out on Kickstarter. It's already way funded. It's like 420,000 in. Ben Milton, the designer of Maze Rats and Knave, was just asking for 10 to get her done. So hello, Never Fear 1911 and Vorpal Bite and others that are joining in. So I've opened up with the split screen. And I will also mention before we go much further, this is some different kind of content. So if you like it, make sure you thumb it, subscribe. You can even click the bell if you so choose to get notifications when we start. So let's first check in before we kind of dial in on Maze Rats and on our current mission. And let's see what Never Fear and Vorpal are saying. And anybody else that comes in, you can participate. It's not a guarantee. I'll take your suggestions. But as we work through this, you'll be doing it with me. So Never Fear just saying, and I'll make sure I do this because I didn't do that last time. And the visual element definitely helps. So hello, Never Fear. We've got Knave 2E fulfilled its goal in like 2 hours. I think it fulfilled its goal in about 5 minutes. So he had 100,000 within an hour, and it's just gone up more and more and more. So you are totally correct in all of this here. Vorpal, I would like to combine Maze Rats with another game called Index Card RPG. You can do that. You can literally do anything you want. Vorpal. So whatever you enjoy or makes things fun for you, just do it. And index cards are a good way to go. I've actually made my own sheets, which by the way, I'll show this here. So I've made my own sheets because my live group is coming over tomorrow. And I like having a couple little extra things. Whoops, it would be over here. So what this says is, why are you here? That means their character. I like them to start. I like the ROLE role play. So I want them to know why their character is going to be in the setting, and then an odd trait or item that they carry. On that note, the odd item that our character is carrying here, which is Chadwick Dunlow. Chadwick, don't call him Chad, Dunlow, has this shark tooth necklace, a necklace around here with a long shark tooth, just a single tooth that hangs down. That is his odd item. We don't know anything about it. It's just there. So let's see here. What do we got? Also, I'd like to combine, with Twilight 2000. You can do whatever you choose. Lower Bullingham. I rolled randomly on Book of Random Tables 2. Oh, we're calling that the name of the city. I like it. It means there's an upper Bullingham, but we'll call it Lower. And I didn't give myself enough room. Bullingham. All right, I'll clean that up later. So let me look at a few more comments, and then we're going to jump in because I really, part of what I'm doing here even is showing how flexible Maze Rats is and how you can just create a scenario right out of the book and begin playing. And then the joy, it was actually 1911's idea to join in, do this live, and take feedback from you guys, the viewers. Let's see. Yep, Theater of the Mind is what I like. Let us know how it goes. Chiefs vlog, maybe. I will. I'll probably make some separate little follow-ups because it'll be my first West marches, and I've got some brand new role players as well. And I'll probably follow that. My live sessions, I'll do little wrap-ups or something. How has Chadwick decided to go about getting the key? I've got some ideas on that. We'll get that into a second. And then we're going to also, I'm using Mythic Emulator. So we'll see if the scene that I think is going to happen is about to happen. I'm leaning toward intimidation, but intimidation with a positive payoff for the owner, possessor of key 37, inside the curiosity shop. So let me pull that down. We'll set the stage. So you can see over with the sheet. So we have our cast of characters right here, Adelaide, the Bleak Moon. I'm going to wrap up where this whole thing kicked off here for a second. So scene one, we've got Chadwick is a usurer. He was basically like loaning money, making money off of that. He's done something, we don't know what. He has done something that offended the city he was living in. They flogged him. Really scarred up his back, left some wounds. He's in fancy duds, which have since been cleaned by Adelaide. And but he got ejected from his city, and it was downriver, down sewage. And while he was moving away, he actually ran across a bear snake, which I picture to be more snake, but with like loose skin around his face, the snake's face, the snake eyes, and a little bit larger. It's because of the size of the snake, partly why they call it a bear snake, and those loose folds of skin that come down. So it's not like a bear's head on a snake or anything. It's more full snake, think anaconda, but a little bit chunkier and with folds coming down and what looks like, bearish feel to the head, even though it's clearly a snake. I came across a small, I called it a small deer or a fawn that was being fed upon, and Chadwick Dunlow decided to chuck this food for the bear snake and run and not fight the snake, which is good because you can see in the adventure notes up here, I've got a bear snake, had an HP health of 7, strength 2, dex 1, will 0, but you can die real quick in Maze Rats. Maze Rats is all about you making decisions, not your player, not your PC skills or traits. It's what you're thinking. Scene 2 was we run across what we're calling Lower Bullingham, I believe. I can see my notes way over there from the suggestion of Never Fear. The city's heavy focus is it's diplomatic. It's a port city. It's a wealthy city. Think UN city-state. There was a fire, and Dunlow, Chadwick, was able to sneak in and not have to go through guards or anything. He's broke. He does have a rapier and a dagger. That's about it, though. His wits, his dexterity. And he went into a tavern he saw called the Bleak Moon. Took us to scene 3. So he enters the Bleak Moon and finds Adelaide, who's a friendly, motherly type figure. And one of the interesting things with the Bleak Moon, which, by the way, in Maze Rats, it gives you odd names for taverns and what their purpose is they are also very good, generally, at secure storage. However, Adelaide has a problem. Someone has stolen a key that she was given custody of, supposed to keep safe. And it's just known as numbered key 37. And she's told Chadwick that if he can recover it, she'll pay him. But Chadwick also isn't stupid. He knows that if he fails, he could probably pretty easily be listed as the fall guy. So over on the side, we have under threads, we have recover key 37. Here's Adelaide, the Black Moon. This little mark here means on the back side of this page, there's some little context of who she is. Never fear, you can have Finn the Pedler. Just when I need it, make sure you've rolled up. You probably already have his stats and what he is armed with. So strength, dex, will, and then his weapons. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but he will be going with Chadwick to try to recover this key 37. So we're going to open up the scene. Let me go ahead and come off of screen share for now. We'll come over to here. We can always pop back into that if need be, but that is the wrap up for where we were at. Again, I'm going to try to keep this at 1 hour. Good. He has the stats. If you don't mind, I have a sheet that I've made up. If you could just give me a strength, dex, and will, I will pop it up on the screen like this so just everybody can see Finn the Pedler. And then if you wanted to add any little weird things about Finn, if you got them, fine. If not, that's no problem. We can just roll with it. So let me give his strength is 1, dex 2, will is +1. And then if you get a chance, weapons, great. Okay. Finn has daggers equipped. Okay, so a dagger in each hand. I'm just making a quick note. Each hand. All right. So he's got his daggers. Again, fighting is not the best thing to do in a game like this, but he may need it. Finn has a jolly personality. Let me write that down. That's perfect. Jolly personality. So the way Mythic works, you've seen my scene setups here. Let me see. Briarborn. Oh, okay, good. So Briarborn is a very interesting thing with maze rats. So let me tell you what Briarborn is, and it'll help me. He's good at tracking, foraging, and survival. Let me make that little note too. Tracking. I just said it. I can't remember. Foraging and survival. So these are little traits that you get in maze rats that give you a little extra, those little extra abilities where Finn will get advantage. Advantage is he'll roll 3 dice instead of 2, and he'll take the highest 2 numbers if we run into something. And light armor means he's going to have a +1. Natural armor or defense is what I like to call it, a 6. And I'm assuming since he's double equipped with daggers, he has no shield, and that is fine. His health points are 4. So we know that coming in. And the way this will work, scene-wise under Mythic, is I thought about it, and I thought, well, what would Chadwick Dunlow do? So we know he's got his fashionable clothes. We know he believes if he doesn't get this key, he's going to be set up as the fall guy for the loss. Adelaide wins no matter what, is what Chadwick believes. Adelaide is set 8, number 37 key. It's at the Curiosity Shop. We know nothing else about the Curiosity Shop. Chadwick's idea is working with Finn the Pedler, who Adelaide's hooked him up with, that Chadwick first is going to kind of scout this Curiosity Shop. So to set up how Mythic's going to work, let me get my percentile die. So the first thing is the scene expected is that Chadwick and Finn are just going to go to the Curiosity Shop. You know, if it's packed with 10, 15 people, well, we're not going to be able to pull weapons and use threats. But the first thing in Mythic is, do we even get to that scene? So the first thing I'll do is show you the sheet again. You can see down here in the bottom, down here is your chaos factors 5. So we're going to roll just the 10-sided die, which I have in my hand here. And if it's a 6 or above, then the expected scene happens. And it is a 6. All right. So I won't even go into, there could have been an interrupt or an alter, but none of that is going to happen. So we'll come right back to me. So the way I've pictured it is we're going to come into altered scene would have meant maybe we get waylaid on the way there, or you know, some guard shows up and checks us or something of that nature. What was this here? Yeah, no shield. And also Finn is looking for someone who wronged him. Okay, keep that in mind. You'll probably have to remind me of something like that if it comes down. Also with Mythic, you use an oracle, a yes/no chart. So the first thing, since we are making it to the Curiosity Shop, I have a simple yes/no question. And it is, I think I'm going to ask, is the owner of the shop the only one present? And I think that's a good 50-50. Well, maybe there's a fire going on. So I'll give him that. Is he the only one present? Or is he alone? I guess would be the question. Is the owner of the curiosity shop alone? And I'm going to go with very unlikely. Well, no, let's just go 50-50. Is he alone? So if I get a 50 or above, it's a yes. Ooh, 29. Okay. So is he alone is a no. I'm just going to add that there's one other person there. So there's one other person in this curiosity shop. And let me do one more 50-50 question. Is this 50-50? Is it his spouse? I guess before we do that, is the owner a man or a female? We'll go male is odd. One, so it's a man. So is this his spouse? 50-50, 56. So that is a yes. So it's his spouse. So the owner of the shop and his spouse are in the curiosity shop. Now, what I picture is we come in, we enter into the shop. Who else is with him? Spouse. Boom. I'll make sure I reference that as I talk. We walk into the curiosity shop, and it is just a hodgepodge of all kinds of things, as you would imagine, curious. But I notice right off the bat, he has a lot of like mounted odd creatures. So these have been slain. You know, there's a weird boar's head over there with 3 tusks, one that's from underneath the jaw. I'm just making this up as we go. Rolled up the name of Zora. Perfect. All right. Let me go to my notes page here. So we've got Zora, and roll up a name for me for his name as well. So I see we've got Zora. Her personality is gregarious. Great. And if anybody else wants to jump in as well. So Vorpal, if you've got something you want to jump in on, or I've got other folks in. If somebody has some ideas, it's not just me and Never Fear. We can get multiple ideas in, and I'll probably just gravitate to what I think fits. So her personality is gregarious. And if Stratford is the owner. Got it. And I will show that here. Boom. So with us coming in, my guy Chadwick is not much of a brute. He's mostly dexterous with a strength of 1. His willpower, however, is 0. But he's a level 1 character. He's down on his luck. Oh, look at this. That's exactly what I was thinking, Never Fear. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to combine the idea with the threat. And so what I'm going to do is I've asked Finn the Pedler to kind of keep an eye outside on the window. If someone else is coming, Finn will alert me, because I am going to use some pretty dastardly threats here, but with a little bit of carrot. So Chadwick walks up to Stratford, and first I want to interest him with said bear snake. And Chadwick says, sir, I see you have quite the eye for oddity. Your mounted collection of very odd and eclectic beasts is impressive. But I see you're missing an item of which I may be able to get for you. And I think now I got to get back to my notes. Stratford and Zora are both at like a little desk. There's little stuff scattered all over, and they're kind of looking through things. I says, really? What exactly are you talking about? This is perfect too. He's inquisitive, which is perfect. Inquisitive. And Stratford says, "Oh, sir, I love oddities. It's one of my favorite things. Now, the store has many things here to interest all buyers. But tell me more about said bear snake. I've heard of them, but I do not have one in my collection." And Chadwick explains, "Well, I happen to have an idea where we may be able to, or where I may be able to. My friend Finn may assist me in bringing one to you that you could mount it and add it to this shop." And I think Zora is like, "Do tell, do tell." Very open and, "Oh, this sounds great. We haven't had one here." I don't know why I gave her an old, gravelly old lady voice, but there it is. And Stratford says, "How much would you want for this?" He says, "Well, there's the rub. Um, I would like it in trade." And Stratford says, "Well, I'm always open for barter." And this is where I think Chadwick is going to use a level of intimidation. He's very dexterous. And the way I'm picturing this, because Maze Rats is all about how do you set a scene so that you don't have to do a danger roll. And the first thing I'm going to do is remember, I am dexterous, so this is intentional. The desk is full of all these items on it where Stratford and Zora are sitting. And there's an item there, it doesn't look overly expensive, but Chadwick knocks this forward down into the floor on their side of the desk, drawing both Zora and Stratford's eyes down. As they pick the item up and come up still smiling, believing they're dealing with bartering for someone who can get them a bear snake, or at least something that will lead to a mounted bear snake. Chadwick has deftly drawn his dagger. And as Stratford comes up, Chadwick reaches behind Stratford's head and slides his blade right up underneath his neck and simply says intently, "Listen closely. I want numbered key 37. I want it now, or you will never see the bear snake, except maybe," I was going to say in hell. That sounds a little over the top. Maybe in purgatory. But I'm a man of my word. You provide me numbered 37 key, one way or the other. But if you go the good route, I will bring you the bear snake. So let's see. What are you guys talking about here? He's inquisitive. During this time, check to see if someone is coming. That's a good point. So it would be quite the terrible time for someone to walk in and interrupt this scene. Finn would give us a warning. So using again simply a yes/no chart. And I think with that fire and all the commotion and a curiosity shop, I think it's still very unlikely, but at a chaos factor of 5, that still means there's a 25% chance. So and I got to make sure I phrase the question, because I'm wanting it to be very unlikely that someone's coming. But what would be odd is it is a no if it's below that. So what I want to say is, I guess the question is, does the scene just basically stays as it is? So nobody walks in. So I'm going to roll percentile dice. 14. So the scene does not stay just normal as it is. 14 is not an extreme yes. So it was under very unlikely. I would have needed a 5 for an extreme no. So it means that something is changing. Something is changing. So what would that be? I don't know. We're going to roll on event, meaning, and action subject just to see what it is. Yeah, I know. Right in the middle of the threat. And I'm picturing Finn is like, uh-oh. Problem. And I don't know what it is. So we're going to roll for this. So it's 31, and I'll make notes as we go here. Gosh, that was something. And we were just making it heal. Okay, heal doesn't sound too bad. Heal. We can roll on this, both of these 3 times for clarification. Oh, 33. So we're going to have a random event as well. And 1911, keep me honest on that. Journ advice is what I get. Okay, you have a journ advice. We'll combine yours with mine. I have a 33 is under subject is lies. Heal lies. Uh-oh. And I'm going to use your adjourn. Interesting. So they're done with advice. All right. So then what you do with Mythic is you try to take the logical outcome. Let me get on your deal here. You take what is the situation that's going on now, which is that hand around the back of Stratford's neck, the dagger's right up, and he's demanding numbered key 37, completely caught them by surprise, but he's offering a bit of a carrot. Now, I mean, why would they trust Chadwick? I don't know. Chadwick could break that trust, but we know he does know where a bear snake is. Whether or not he can get it is a whole nother thing. Only when fate check. Oh, you're right. See, this is why it's so good to have you guys in there. It's not when I'm rolling on subject and action. It's only when I'm rolling on the fate chart itself. Good point. So we can get rid of that random. We're already in enough trouble as it is. Thank you. So adjourn advice. Adjourn meaning we're done, and advice. I don't know what that would mean. Heal lies. Heal lies. I'm going to go one more time just for me to see if I can get something to jumpstart. Action is 57. 57 is create. Okay, we're going to go create. And under subject 24, create tension. Oh, we've got that. All right, heal lies. Right off, I just think Stratford says, Adelaide sent you, and you don't have the full story. Okay, so we're on the healing of lies, healer of lies, lies of healing. Right. And so right there's some, I don't have the full picture. And Chadsworth says, oh, good sir, I guarantee you I don't have the full picture. But I also have a mission. And numbered key 37 is it. And since we're talking adjourn advice, I think he's not going to take it, but create tension. So no one's coming, but you've got under this, and so something was happening though. I guess that's still not a good idea because we know something else was happening rather than just Stratford talking. So let's stay on that a little bit. If we're looking at something outside, that's great. Stratford's talking about I don't have enough information. But it's weird. It's heal lies. It's adjourn advice. It's create tension. Let's lean in on create tension. And I think we're just going to say that Finn says, hey, it looks like foot traffic's kind of going back to normal. They must have the fire out. And I think Chadwick would just say, just keep a sharp eye. Let me know if somebody's coming into the store. And stay up in that front window. It looked like you're looking at items. All right, so he's still there. We know what this tells me is I will roll again in a couple beats. We'll just call it a couple beats. In a couple beats, we will check again to see if there's anything else going on. I don't know how much activity a curiosity shop would get, but we will check again. This sends me back to Stratford is trying to talk his way out of, hey, I don't know the full story. Chadwick has to act fast. I agree. Chadwick simply says, Stratford, have Zora put the key on this desk, or you'll die where you stand. And I think Stratford, being inquisitive, says, tell me more about the bear snake. Even with the blade where he's at. And Chadwick says, I'll make a vow to you. You hand over numbered key 37, and I will track down a bear snake and bring you its head. And Chadwick says, or Stratford says, that's quite the promise. All right, let's see. Ballsy. Yeah, I agree. And it means we're going to have to go back and fight that thing, but at least I got Finn on his side. Assuming I'm not just lying. And I don't feel like I am. I feel like Chadwick needs to restart. Stratford simply says, Zora hasn't moved. And Stratford says, well, good sir, I don't want to die today. And I do love my creatures. I don't know how much choice I have. Zora, numbered key 37. And as she starts to move, I go, hold, Finn, leave the window, go with Zora. What is this? I wouldn't just take Finn alone. Yeah, maybe we can get somebody else. We'll see. We'll deal with that in a second. So this is the beat, though. Finn has moved into the back of the store with Zora just to make sure she doesn't run off or whatever's going on. But that means nobody's watching the front of the store. And what I want to do, I think it's unlikely, maybe even no way, 15%. So if I get 15 or higher, they just come back with the key. But I want this option that somebody comes in the door. So the option I'm rolling for here is, everything just happens normally is going to be 15 or higher. Well, one's on the floor. 87. I caught it on my leg. 87. So, and looking at this under that, 84 or above is a strong thing in our favor. So I like this. This is where Mythic's great. So it's not just Zora comes back with the key. There's extra. There's something even better to that part of the story. Ideas on what that could be. So this is going to jazz it up just a little bit. This is like even better for us, or a little bit more information. I see Zora and Finn coming back. Nobody's still entered into the store. And I've still got that back of the neck death grip on Stratford and the knife ready to go. And Zora comes up and places that key down. And I can see on this key, it's like a large, key of the time. And in the circle of that key at the top is the numerals 37 and a specialized net. Ooh. No, yeah, I like your idea here. So I think Stratford, as I slide my hand onto the key and I take it and I pocket it, I'm come off with the dagger. And Stratford says, sir, you probably could have traded with me open if you had the bear snake. But it's a tall order, and you don't realize how much I would like this bear snake. And I would like you to succeed. I would prefer to get something very nice out of this deal rather than just the loss of the key. Zora, The snake net, the snake net, specialized net. We'll pull that back up. Good sir. First of all, what is your name? Chadwick. I tell him my name. You may find the snake net helpful. This will be a tall order for you, but you may be able to get the snake caught up so it, at the very least, can't escape from you and die somewhere in the wilds, even if you do wounds to it. And I do want this, and you may return this net to me, hopefully, with the head of the bear snake itself. And I would even reward you. This is how much this bear snake is worth to me. So I like it. Got a sneeze coming. Ooh, didn't plan on that. So what we're dealing with is we've got a specialized net, a specialized snake net for a large snake on top of getting key 37. So it's in our pocket. And I love the fact that Stratford has even offered up a little bit of bling. I think he realizes and stated as much that he wants something out of the deal. He's lost the key, kept his life. But by making it even more interesting, I think Stratford realizes, and he is inquisitive, that it's more likely, rather than being double-crossed, that now Chadwick has some options. So what do we have coming across here? I think Finn suggests going to the tavern looking for Vorpal's character. Vorpal, your character was kind of a lord, is what I understand. That's the only problem. Have you rolled up another character? So get that with me. Vorpal's still in the chat. I don't know. And anybody else can weigh in at any time. I've got other people in the room here. Again, if you just want to watch, that's totally fine. But any opinions are taken. We'll try to make this a little bit of a community deal. Doesn't mean I can take everybody's ideas as they go, but Vorpal, any ideas? Vorpal was in. See, this is what Vorpal does do, though. Way back here, I saw get the key with sex. No. Use seduction. It's cost effective. So Vorpal, I hope you're still in the room. He called himself Lord, not that he can actually Lord. Good point. Could be a deposed Lord or something like that. We'll wait a little bit. We'll wait if Vorpal has an idea. What I am going to do at this point in time is, it's real simple. I've achieved the thing I need for Adelaide. So, oh, nope, he's not here. Got it. All right, that's fine. Maybe he'll pop back in. So, I like that Stratford has he's really secured the deal here, even with the threat of me killing him, and Chadwick would have killed him. He's come out with a deal, which maybe that's what an owner of a curiosity shop would do. It's the key's not worth his life. We don't know what surrounds the key. We don't know how the key was stolen. We don't know how it ended up at the curiosity shop. We don't know how Adelaide knew it was at the curiosity shop. But it's now in my pocket. It's in my pocket. Chadwick Dunlow has the key. I say, sir, I will get this snake, its head, and I'll return it to you. And maybe we can deal more honestly with each other moving forward. Let's see. We can confront Adelaide later about it. Sure. Maybe we don't even care. Maybe we do. But I think we return and settle that first. Before we catch the snake, I would like to get that key back to Adelaide. I think she's under her pressure. And getting the snake could end up getting us killed. So what I'm leaning toward is I like to clear the ledger. I think Chadwick has gotten himself, he got himself flogged and ejected from his other city for usury. I think maybe we could get someone else to help us as well. We already have the net, but maybe Adelaide or the tavern would have somebody willing to go with us. We can up our odds. So we're going to cut the scene for the curiosity shop. Hopefully we'll return with the bear snake. We're 40 minutes in. I can tell already what we'll do with this is return to Adelaide. And then before we go, we'll pause. And the next time we come back to this, it will be hunting of the bear snake. Let me see what I've got coming in. That's true. Chadwick and Finn could get killed. Yes, they could. And so before we head back to the Bleak Moon, I think it was Bleak Moon. Where are my notes? Where are my notes? I moved my stuff. There it is. Let me make sure I've got Bleak Moon. Bleak Moon it is. Trust yourself, sir. All right. Is there any kind of interruption between leaving the curiosity shop and heading back to the Bleak Moon to see Adelaide? Anything could happen. So if I get a 5 or less, 10. So no, we're going good. Chaos factor's 5. So I've rolled above it. We walk back into the Bleak Moon. There's customers rolling in. The fire has died down. And Finn and I roll up to Adelaide, and I tell her, I think this time you're going to want to pour us an ale from one of your top shelf barrels. She says, oh, really? Why would that be, Chadwick? And I reach in, I pull out, and I set key 37 down on the bar. And Adelaide whistles and says, my, you work fast, Chadwick. And I said, well, but it's come with a promise. And Finn and I are going to head out into the wilds. I have a line on a bear snake, and that will be my trade for numbered key 37. And Adelaide says, you didn't just take it back from Stratford, you bargained. Yeah, I did. He is a fan of all things odd. And he does not have a bear snake beastie mounted on his wall. And I told him I'd get it for him. In turn, you have your key back. So let's see here. Chaos factor should go down since Chadwick was largely in control. Yeah, we could. What I like to do is adjust the chaos factor after I've done a session. So, and I'm with you. If nothing odd happens, I think we'll bring chaos factor down to 4. Things seem to be going pretty well. We'll see how the wilds go. What was locked with key 37? Fine. I think Finn asked Adelaide. He's a peddler, and he was like, I don't know what his voice would be. Miss Adelaide, might I inquire of what key 37 opens? And I think Adelaide says, oh, I'm just the storer and keeper of said objects. I myself don't know what it opens, but this one will stay secure. It's attracted a bit of attention. So she is back in control of the numbered key, which she lost. Who stole it? What's going on? Who knows? But she's got it back. Adelaide sees the deal. She said she would pay for it. I think she forwards us a couple coins, 5 coins. 5 coins from Adelaide for both of us. And she says, let me see. There may be someone else who would be willing to assist you. And I think we've got to see 50-50, chaos factor still 5. Does she find somebody for us? So 50 or above is a yes. Oh, 21. She's got nobody. She comes back and says, Nobody I can find is willing to go into the wilds to look for a bear snake. Good luck. You two are on your own on that one. And she pats the key. She says, return to the bleak moon if you're able. And I'll have more work for you. And so therein must be something valuable. Yeah, it must lead to something. I mean, it could be anything from diplomatic stuff to whatever. That sucks. Maybe there's a mercenary guild in town. It could be. We do have a net. I like your idea there. And when we return, I'm at 45 minutes. When we return, we'll be headed out. But if Adelaide can't find someone for us, then I'm not sure we would. We have no standing in this town. So here's the great thing about maze rats. We'll be going into the wild. I know an area where I last saw that snake, but just finding the snake again, is it guaranteed to be there? I'm planning, do we have to bait something for it to be there? I think knowing where one was last seen or a lair or whatever, it might be a great place to start. And hopefully we find it. I got a feeling we will. Why would you not find a bear snake and see if we can get ourselves killed? But before we leave, we will look for help. So we will try to find more help. Let me make a note for bear snake. What came in, I'll look at your item here in a second. And a rapier against a bear snake doesn't seem all that good. That's what my guy's Chadwick's armed with. I think we could trap the snake, bait it with meat, since it likes meat a lot, sufficient enough for it not to attack Chadwick. I think that's a great idea. So let's ask. I guarantee Adelaide can get us, pork rump or something. So I think we've got a shank of meat that will add to our net. And at the very least, we can attempt the baiting of said snake, and maybe even, I don't know how a snake net works. Do we set it underneath in the meat and then it's on a pulley and whoop, and we've got the snake? I like that idea. So we may have some kind of pulley net snake catch thing going on. I like that idea as a start, and it means we're not simply going out trying to kill it. I was hoping we could find somebody that at least had like a crossbow or something. So also get supplies. Finn has 3 medicine on him. Oh, excellent. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. We'll just say we've got that Adelaide with our money. We get a basic supply kit, nothing fancy. I mean, my guy had nothing, so we're talking a good water skin. We each have a backpack. There's something basic stuff in it. Doesn't it have a high strength? Yeah, the snake. Let me look. I think the snake was, HP 7. It had 2 strength, 1 dex, 0 willpower. So it's not the smartest thing, which tells me the idea of bait and net is good, but it's strong enough. Might it be able to break out? But if it's a snake net, it's designed to hold said snake. I think we'll see. I think that's a good idea. Any other suggestions before we close the scene off? This was interesting. I liked how that laid out, and we have a new mission ahead. Finn also has caltrops. Now, it's funny. I'd have to look that up. I've heard the word, but I don't know what it means. What is caltrops? I don't recall. I would need to look that one up. A horn, a large sack, a lantern, and some oil. Well, that all sounds good. I don't know what we're going to find out in the wilds, but it's good to have something. Also some glue. Okay. We'll see what we can do with that. I guarantee if we can kill this thing, we'll have its head in the net. Again, this is like a big anaconda type snake, but with these loose folds of skin that give it this bare, like when it's up on its, almost like a cobra look, the folds of skin come down and it has this bear type head look to it, although it's still got those very spooky eyes of a snake, but quite dangerous. Caltrops are like spikes, okay, that you can throw. Oh, are those the ones that like if you step on, I'll look and find out. Hey, there he is. Are those little spikes the ninja tosses on the ground? Got it. All right, there's always a spike that's up. Makes sense. Enemy steps on them. Perfect. And Vorpal's back. All right. We're going to wrap this scene at 50 minutes. Anything you guys want to add before we close? Boy, the time just flew by with that one. Ideas on maze rats. So we'll come back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. I know these are different kinds of shows. Hopefully more folks will jump in as we go here and we can kind of create a little bit of a following and take different ideas as we move forward. But don't forget, as I do this live, Knave is up on Kickstarter, but Maze Rats is an add-on for that. Very, very flexible system, as you can see as we move through. Let's see. Yeah, we'll look at this here in a bit. Can we find Vorp's character in the tavern? Let's see. The Battle of River Platte, Pursuit of Graph Spree, full movie. Okay. Possible. So Vorpal, your character. I've got a feeling that maybe you walked into the tavern as we're preparing to leave. And what's some of your character's like personality traits? Is he gregarious like Zora was, where he would say, "I'm looking for work," and like announce himself to the entire tavern? Because if so, we would have work for your character if he wanted to join us. So anything Vorpal, is that an option? Would you join this party of two, Finn and Chadwick, as we go forth into the wilderness to try to capture and kill a bear snake? Let me look it up. All right, we'll see. Would your character join us? It would be nice to have a third, even though I might put you on point. You might die, sir. You might die. Let me, before we leave, we'll show this again so we can see the scene setup, and what I will add in will be, let me get this off of there. What I will add in is the scene 4 down here and how the curiosity shop went. And when we come back, I will set up the scene of going into the wilderness to set the trap for said bear snake. HP 7, so he's not overly strong, but again, I would not mind just capturing. We've recovered the key. Let me slide this up here. We've recovered the key. So this will end as a thread, but I will change this thread to complete dealings with Stratford. So we'll up that. I'll add in Stratford and wife Zora to the character list, because that can show up when we get into random events and things. So that'll be updated when we return. And I'm filling a little bit of time. Let's see, what do we got here? What did you say? It's a contradiction. Malevolent and benevolent. Okay, well, we can use that. That just tells me that this is somebody that if you're in his inner circle, he is extremely benevolent. And if you're not, he's extremely malevolent. How's that sound? Finn also has his own goal in mind as well. Good. And you don't even need to tell me what that is, 1911. You can just keep me in the dark on that as you go. And so, Vorpal. I've got work. Chadwick has work for your guy, and I can't remember his name. He calls himself Lord something or another. What is it? Because you're going to join us. One, we need another person, and you just walked in. And I guess we'll have to win our way into your benevolent side. But what is your guy's name so I can have him set up? If it helps, I have a vial of poison and a vial of acid. Well, it might. Just don't mar the head of this bear snake. Lord Vorp. Okay. Lord Vorp. All right. Seems pretentious, but I don't want to get on your malevolent side. I mean, already mentioned his goal. He wants to track down someone who wronged him. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if this helps, but down someone who wronged you. Trying to keep all that straight is good. Yeah, well, master of the universe, maybe in your own mind, sir, Lord Vorp. Maybe you're a little crazy. I like that. You got a little bit of craziness. I'm writing that right in here. A little crazy. So I think as we talk to you and ask what your name is, you literally say, Lord Vorp, master of the universe. And I'm right now, you're a little crazy. Vorp is a little bit nuts. A little bit nuts. All right, we're going to call that a scene. And I will set this up. I don't have a date quite for next time. Maybe we can do it next Saturday. I can't guarantee every single Saturday. Let me go back full screen, especially with me starting tomorrow's the live or me having folks here at the house crazy enough to want to hunt a bear snake. That's right. You crazy. You crazy. So there we will be. Again, folks, if you're watching this in post, you too can join in. I will post these. I'll pre-schedule these Maze Rat Live episodes so that everybody knows when they're going to drop. But hit the bell, do a subscribe, and thumb it up. It helps a lot. These are a little bit different. And if you enjoyed this at all, go check out Maze Rats and where did I put it? Knave, the hardback edition is coming out. Not the one with the stickers. Knave, the hardback. Go check that out on Kickstarter. It's already funded, baby. It's coming. All right, I'm going to close out the show. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and watching. And again, you too can join in. Ending broadcast now. See you guys later.